You are watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juan.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leck.
And together we are
Road Break.
How's every single one of you, family? Another episode of AEW Dynamite. Another time that, in a lot of reasons, we're still getting really, really disappointed. Dynamite, for a lot of people, for a lot of even podcasters, big names, they love some of the segments that they do, but it's because what's the word, Jean-Paul? They're what? Marks. They're just marks. So that's why they absolutely love anything. They can just shit on the street and they will love it. But that's not we.
No, they're marks, so they're looking for hey, you want to give me a job? You want to give me one of this? And it's like, hey, that's fine, but
that's not us.
But also call out. When it's shit. You got to call it out, and that's what
call
we
do. Call it for what it is, right?
Exactly.
Call it for how it is, and then this show was not good. A little bit of the Lucha Bros going at each other. That was really good. I mean, Britt Baker came back. That was a little bit decent. And like you said, in the end, to summarize pretty much the whole show. So you guys want to watch the first 2 minutes? FTR and the Young Bucks are going to be fighting for the tag team belts at Full Gear. What is something that Jean-Paul already predicted a long time ago? He said that's the money match. There you go, Jean-Paul. Good job booking the show. So thank you so very much for being with us. Thank you for the subscriptions, for the love, for the comments, everything that you do for the show. Don't forget to check Jean-Paul Egg talking about Monday Night Raw. Welcome show for Hell in a Cell. The Devil's Playground. And it's going to be on Sunday. We're going to be covering every single thing in English and in Spanish. And as you guys can see, Alexa Bliss is the other new member of the Firefly Fan House. So, check that out with Jean-Paul. Every single thing from that welcome show that Jean-Paul called it boring. You want to know why it's boring? Watch it. For the soccer fans right there, Copa Libertadores covering the route of Liga Deportiva Universitaria and their match against River Plate. Unfortunately, my team lost 3-0. Not a good game. But both advanced to the next round. So, the draw is going to be on Friday. So, we'll see the brackets. We'll see what matchups do we get from that. So, don't forget to watch that. Jean-Paul, let's start with Dynamite. This show will also switch, right, Jean-Paul? Because we're going to have Kenny Omega going against Joey Janela. This was the original matchup, right, Jean-Paul?
Not the original rope break, but the original match.
We keep it original to ourselves, yes. Yeah. Yes, but, Janela, in his runarounds, he was exposed with somebody that has COVID. So, for that reason, we got this. So later on, we're going to talk about a little bit of that. But, the menu for today was, pretty much all the matches for the first rounds of the #1 contender tournament for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, as you guys can see right there. All those 4 matches. What do you think overall, Jean-Paul? Your impressions on this very quick before we go to the first match.
I don't like how all 4 of them were, in one night, but I understand why they did it. They waited too long to start the tournament. Full Gear's in 2 weeks. You had to do it like that, but with everything else we saw on the show, I almost just wish these 4 matches were the 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
For everything. I mean, maybe not Kenny Omega and his matchup, but, maybe have the other 3 a little bit longer, because everything else we saw on the show, not too big a fan of. But
not good at all, as you say. You're right. So let's start with the first one, Jungle Boy against Wardlow. Well, this one, it seemed pretty, it could have gone 2 different ways. They're pushing Jungle Boy to the end, to the moon, to kind of maybe a top baby face, or they actually want to push Wardlow as the monster like he was supposed to be ever since he came into AEW, right, Leek? Well, they went with the route of Wardlow, so this match was actually Wardlow dominating the whole thing, and Jungle Boy looking like him, like Jungle Boy, short guy, really skinny, and of course the bigger man won. That's how I can summarize it for all of you.
Yeah, I actually like this match. It was really good. You got to push both of these guys. I think Wardlow needed to win just because it's, they're pushing Jungle Boy, but then you look at the size and the strength difference, and it's like, man, if Jungle Boy would have beat him here clean, that wouldn't look good for Wardlow in the future. But with Jungle Boy, you can make an excuse. Oh, they said he was a foot shorter and 70 pounds lighter than Wardlow. So, okay, he was at a disadvantage in this matchup. But, the thing that sucks is now he's going to move on and face Hangman Page, and then he's probably going to lose that. So it's like, what does that really do for Wardlow? And they even said him and Hangman Page, who, spoiler alert, they both moved on. They said that they're unranked. And that's the one thing. This tournament's for a #1 contender, and there's guys who are unranked in it. So I feel like it was a little rushed. It wasn't planned out logically, but, it was a good matchup.
Logically on AEW, Jean-Paul.
No.
A lot of things
logic is out the window.
Yes. The one thing you like to mention is some things are just rushed or is on the go. And that's something that I really appreciate. I would like to see much more April, like, take their time to develop storylines and everything. And I'm not the only one who thinks that way. So, at least, nobody's going to, like, kill me about it. But like you said, in the end, Wardlow wins. So he was the very first one that advanced to the semifinal.
I love how Jungle Boy sold that F5 that he does.
Oh, yeah.
That was totally
and that's how the original F5 used to be, completely turning around. That was good. And now we have Jean Paul confirmation that the title match, you and me were actually asking each other what's going to be like number one contender, who's going to be facing Jon Moxley, and it's going to be one of your boys, John. It's going to be Eddie Kingston. So it's going to be an I Quit match. Somebody's going to have a Hell in a Cell I Quit match on Sunday.
The Shield reunion.
The Shield, yeah. They do everything together, Even like when they're in different companies, they still do this. They fight the same stipulations in their matches. So this, I don't really. I know you like Eddie Kingston. I'm okay with him, but I just don't know that like this represents like a pay-per-view match for me. When you go, if you think
it's
Brian Cage, you think from like you go from like Jake Hager, you go from like I said, Ryan Cage, you go the Exalted One, Brody Lee, and now you go with like Lance Archer, and now you get Eddie Kingston. Shouldn't that be like flip? And maybe Eddie Kingston be like the first contender for the title, and then
the only reason they're really liking this is because Eddie Kingston is so good on the mic. He's a good promo, and he's building the feud. It has the legit and the emotional, storyline going for it. So that's something at least. But this is just holding over to whoever wins this tournament, which is most likely going to be Kenny Omega, who's probably going to be the next AEW World Heavyweight Champion. So they're like, why do another legit feud? Let's just spread this Kingston one out until Kenny wins, and then we go from there.
Oh, yeah, I think that. I absolutely agree with you, Jean-Paul. I think, again, I'm not too invested in this, just because, again, Eddie Kingston, has he had a really good match in AEW? Probably not.
I mean, he's solid. He's a better technically than Jon Moxley. I don't think, and that's not like saying he's Bret Hart, but he's better than Moxley. They had, 2 matches already? Now this is the third, and they're not going to do anything because they got the toys out. We've seen them, beat each other up. So it's not going to be really anything different. Yeah, you say I quit, but so now Kingston says I quit, and then he loses all that momentum.
Yeah,
he built up, and then okay.
I still don't understand. I don't get it. I'm not too happy with it, but that's what they're gonna give us. The promo that Moxley cut was really good. Also on Eddie Kingston, talking about we were used to be best friends. I used to respect you a lot. You were like a man that lived by its values, but you change. You change, and I don't know when this is all said and done, I'm gonna get my friend back. But the intensity of John and kind of telling the story is always good. When Moxley has the promo, is always good.
Yeah, and I really like the line he said. He's like, "Oh, so you're gonna fault me for going somewhere and making a bunch of money to give my family a life that I didn't have." And that was legit because it's like, oh, maybe he didn't want to go to corporate WWE, but why would you turn down that legit money?
Oh, yeah, it's exactly. So, we'll see what happens on that. But again, I'm not too happy with what they did. I mean, you're okay with it. I'm not that happy. Let's go with something that was really quick, though. Kenny Omega against Sonny Kiss. Like you said, the Kenny Omega going back to the cleaner. A lot of people are saying that this is the newer version of the cleaner. And, he came out and Justin Roberts said, all his accolades, from 2017 on, best wrestler for Pro Wrestling Illustrated, Dave Meltzer, blah, blah, blah. Oh, he's fluent in Japanese, and he has to translate for Michael Nakazawa. And all of that, he had some girls dancing right there in his entrance. So this match, like you said, the entrance was even longer than the whole match because it was just beat Trigger and the One Wing Angel and done. So your thoughts on that, Mr. Eck?
Yeah, I didn't like exactly. That was my face when Justin Roberts started saying all the shit. I'm like, okay, whatever. He is what he is. I'm not the biggest fan of his, but it's like, okay. He starts naming off all this stuff. Once he gets the Dave Meltzer, 7 5-star matches or whatever he says, and then he's like, oh, fluent in Japanese. I'm like, this is bullshit. If he would have said the PWI top 500, I'm like, whatever, okay. They, their fans, they whack to that stuff. But it's then we get the match and it was good. It went the right way because he's going against somebody who is, sorry, Sonny Kiss, but a loser. So this match shouldn't have been long. It should have been exactly how short it was, but. Then you saw it different, so that's I like. So now we have some point of controversy, just between the two of us. Is I don't like how after the match Kenny was like, "Oh, are you okay, Sonny?" He should have did it in a more heelish way. It looked at I know how you saw it, where it's like he was making fun of Sonny, but I feel he could have done it or did it a little bit, more obvious that he's making fun of Sonny, and then maybe like, give a look afterwards, because I was waiting for Kenny to have like a look on his face before he walked away or something, and then they just cut to the bracket and was like, oh yeah, here's our next matches.
Like, the way I saw it is just like, like the sarcastic way of helping him out. He's like, hey, yeah, Sonny, you're cool. It's like, but deep down, it's like, you're crap. I beat you in like 2 seconds.
But unless they portray that he has that thought, it's just, we're just speculating.
People are not going to get behind it, that's for sure. But like I said, like, I kind of saw it that way because Kenny's like, I'm that good that, I went there. 2 seconds, you're out. It's like, I'm sorry, Sonny, hey, this was going to happen. Hey, friends, but,
I don't like it, but, hey, there's a lot of things I don't like on this show. So.
Yes, you're absolutely right. So, Jean-Paul, let's go to the next thing that we don't like from this show. No, this was actually a really good thing. And this was like going to be like the Lucha Bros going against each other. So that's something that, I was really looking forward to see. It was a really good match. A little short for my taste. I thought that the match was going to take a little longer. But, in the end, Rey Fénix goes over. And I really like, the Spanish Fly, the actions. But, again, like Jean-Paul, in this one, I got to agree with you. Mostly because I was into the match. But then we're going to go to picture-in-picture.
Yeah, and when it went to picture-in-picture, it was at the best spot. I shouldn't say the best spot, but it was when the match was really getting hot. And then we see a spot where Pentagon chops the ring post and hurts his hand, and then it's like, we see all this action and the storyline that's gonna like lead the match on. Oh, his hand is hurt. That affected when he went for a cover soon after this, and then Fénix kicked out. But and they did show a replay. But why do you have to go to picture-in-picture in a legit match?
No, yeah, I agree with you.
But the match itself, though, it was really good, and I like it because sometimes when lucha guys wrestle just other non-lucha guys, the match sucks because you need to have that lucha style, to blend really well. And obviously these guys, they're brothers, they train, wrestle together for how long? It's like, okay, legit, they can mesh really well, and that's why these lucha matches between these two guys turns out really well. And I thought it was good. Fénix did that Hurricane Rana, dropped himself on his head. And then I thought he was done. I don't know if that was just like a storyline, like, oh, he's done, but then he was fine because the match continued. And, yeah, he got the Canadian or the Mexican Destroyer, 1, 2, 3, legit, that he wins. But, at the end of the day, like we said, we think Kenny's going to go on to win, so.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And, like you said, boom, right there.
There he is.
I love the Canadian Destroyer right there. I think it was like, a really good move. And, I really think that, like, it's going to be a good semifinal. Kenny against, Rey Fénix. That's going to be really, really good. That's going to be a really great match. And this one, like I said, the picture-in-picture just took me out of it. But in the end, I was actually rooting for Penta. But, Rey Fénix is fine, Like, another thing to mention, Jean-Paul, both guys have the same, theme song. So,
they had the same entrance, the same, yeah. And Kingston was on commentary, too, we should make note. And that... We both weren't a fan of that. He took away from the match a little bit in the beginning for me. But they had the same entrance. Obviously they're a tag team, but they should have a tag team entrance. But then when they're singles, give them different songs.
Oh yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you. Jean-Paul. So like this was like the next match, and like you said, like we're gonna be, we're excited about what this is gonna happen. And then let's talk about Jean-Paul. Like the next match, in the tournament, that this was going to be, we knew that this was going to be, at least caliber-wise, it was going to be a really good match because both men are really good, and that's Adam Hangman Page going against Colt Cabana. When I mean Colt Cabana being really great, is like at least, he's solid in the ring. He puts on good performances, and, Adam Hangman Page, we knew that he was going to go over because, like Jean-Paul always mentions, the money match. That's like in Jean-Paul's jargon, I don't know that's your style, but, it's just like Adam Hangman Page against Kenny Omega. So that's gonna be like the finals of the tournament. But this was good. I like Colt Cabana kind of try. He was like I like kind of like Dusty with the moves with like the bionic elbow and all of that. I really like him. I think that Adam Hangman Page looked good, and like they're trying to make this finals like a big deal just because it's gonna be Page against Omega, former tag team champions.
Yeah, and this, it was good because they did the right thing. Hangman Page went over. Colt Cabana, he got his offense in. And this was a match that it was in the number one contenders tournament. So I don't mind that it went a little long and Cabana got some offense. And, he countered the buckshot a couple times. And he hit that, where he does that, like, that dive for like the roll up. I forget what it's called, the New York whatever, and he like gets or the Superman whatever, and he gets the legs. But so Cole hit all his signature offense, but he wasn't gonna win. And it's like, this match, when you already know who's going to win and who's going to lose, and it goes a little long, and then, there was the stuff with the Dark Order before that, the promo, and which I was okay. At least Cole Cabana no-sells that John Silver, too, and he's like, what the hell's wrong with this guy?
Yeah.
So, all the Dark Order does. But I can't really get into the match too much, but I'm happy, obviously, Hangman won. And he should go on to the finals to face Kenny.
Oh, did he win? Oh, right there. Yeah, he did win. Yeah. He's legit. Yeah. It was good. Like we said, like we know the finals are gonna be these two guys, Omega and Page. Why? Because like they're two most popular guys, and the rivalry's right there, the money's right there. So this was good. I think that like the match that they put us on at Full Gear, because at Full Gear is supposed to be like the finals, right? Yeah. That's probably gonna steal the show for me. Because so far, what they're trying to put on, the title match, I'm dead with it. I'm not, I'm not happy with it. But this, there's my money when it comes to this match, and Paul. Something that turned out to be very comical, but like in a bad way, or like poor taste, just because like you said, like what would Eddie Kingston said about like AEW?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, when AEW first started, they said, "Oh, we're gonna be legit. We're gonna put on real sports. We're not gonna be funny. This is gonna be real wrestling." And then when Eddie Kingston always says that John Moxley, he comes from the land of entertainers, but they're wrestlers here on AEW. And then we get the dinner debonair.
Yeah.
So, then to me, if that is the this was the quintessential early 2000s, or like early to mid 2000s WWE segment.
Yeah,
the guys are
really bad. Two guys fighting over steak, and then they make this into a musical. I'm sorry, I would like to tell you, family. I didn't even try to understand the lyrics that they were saying.
Nope.
Because to me, I get it. You're trying to be funny and everything, but like at the beginning of AEW, it came out as funny. Now it doesn't. At least for me, it did not come out funny. And if the fact that, like, again, other people say that, like, this is better than some stuff that Monday Night Raw is putting, I don't know why you're watching. You need your eyesight checked, because, it's as bad. It's not better. It's just as bad. Okay? That's the way.
Yeah, just because you like two people in something, if what they're doing is awful and it's not funny and it's not entertaining, it's bad. I like MJF, I like Jericho, but this was bad. This was awful. There was no defending it. Well, you said it. When they started arguing with the steak, and then when that was over, and then Jericho's like, what the hell are we doing? I'm like, okay, now it's going to get to the seriousness, to, like we say here, the meat and the potatoes. But it never got there. No. It just went straight to the bullshit, and they start singing. And I agree. As soon as they started singing, I zoned out. I was like, okay, that's when you check the phone, drink the coffee, do whatever. And then when it was over, then I was like, okay. And then he's like, oh, let's take it up again
let's do it again from the bottom. I'm like, I'm like, okay, am I watching like The Boys? Am I watching American Idol? Am I watching Dancing with the Stars that Jericho already did like a few years ago? But like, again, that, I don't know if there's somebody that likes that stuff. I mean, if you do, good for you, just, go, like, if you need a shrink, if you need, like, a psychiatrist.
Yeah, exactly.
Please go ahead. If you need a Xanax, for your depression problem, go ahead, we will provide you with that. We have ways to find that out, but, this was just bad. I just don't think that, like, a wrestling show needs to have this kind of segments. No. And people, like, shit on Impact for the wrong reasons if you're going to upload this.
If you love this, but you're like, Wrestle House was the worst thing ever. I'm not saying Wrestle House was good, but I don't know how you can be like, that sucks.
I don't know
how
this can be better. That's the best way to say it. It falls in the same category of failed attempt of being funny. Now you're trying to be Saturday Night Live.
Exactly. That's what it is. Well, Jericho wants to be an entertainer. No matter how much he shits on WWE, he wants to be an entertainer.
Yes, and and again, like, I mean, keep it wrestling. He's a good wrestler. He can be he could be one of the best wrestlers of all time. So stay in that. You don't need to be this entertainment. It's not coming out funny. So, Jean Paul right there, the return of Britt Baker. See, this was quick and to the point. I like this. She beat Kayle Lee. This was a good match, and, Baker looked good. He did, like, the swinging net breaker. I like that. And also, like, she did, like, the mandible claw. I like how, like, she puts the glove. That for me is legit, because she keeps the sanitary. She's a doctor. She knows that she has to take all the precautions and all of that. So I was really happy with that. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Oh, I agree 100%. The only thing is you could have cut the match in half. It could have been a lot shorter. This was her return match against somebody who we don't really know. We don't have any stock in. We don't have any emotional investment. It should have been cut out all the offense from whoever you said her name was, King or something, whatever. See, I don't even know. Yeah, cut out all her offense. Have Britt Baker just kick her ass, super kick, swinging net breaker, lockjaw, and done.
And done. Yeah, it would have been a lot quicker, but at least you said it the best. Next week, what's gonna happen? She's gonna have something with Hikaru Shida. Boom, we have a feud.
Mm-hmm.
We have a feud, and that's how it's gonna be. Like I'm saying that.
And then the match in 2 weeks with Big Swole at Full Gear is an afterthought.
Yeah, and it will be like that. So absolutely right. Then we got a promo by Jackass, right?
This was so stupid. I
mean, it's like Steve-O, so of course you're going to be thinking about Jackass. And Darby Allin is like a bootleg of like Jackass. He wants to be as funny as that, but his character doesn't match what he's trying to do. So they did one of those things that they had in Jackass, like they do something with like the roller places, right? With like
he went off like the skateboard, like the half pipe, or whatever you call it. But you like think about it. He has a TNT Championship match. He's like, oh, I got to get ready. I got to prepare. He's like, no, I'm just going to do this stupid stunt for no reason. What if he legit hurt himself? And he did that and he's like, oh, I broke my arm.
Yeah. So,
And then it's like, oh, your wrestling career is done for a promo, for a little video package that in a week from now, I lie, by Friday, no one will remember.
Yes. I agree with you, Jean-Paul. I agree with you. So, that was what would happen. Like you said, there's going to be, Darby Allin is going to be challenging whoever wins from like the lumberjack match that we're going to have next week. Also, we're going to have like Orange Cassidy against Cody, because the Dark Order cut a promo and they said they were going to be ringside. So that the way that they're going to be banned or kind of like not have any interference is going to be for them making it into a lumberjack match. Cody also had a promo there. He said, he's like excited about this match with like Orange Cassidy because it was a good match and, the best men win. Okay, whatever. Good. But like AEW, like next show is going to be a little bit interesting because it's also kind of like, it's going to have like the finals of the semifinals of the tournament, another championship match. So it's going to be a lot of things added to it, and the build up for like Full Gear is almost, taking place. There's the pay-per-view starting to be shaped up. So that was good. And, starting to be shaped up, we're going to get like the Fatal 4-Way, the tag team, like to be the number one contender of the tag team championships. But Jean-Paul, he said it like months ago, like I said. He's like, oh, the FTR is here. The feud is with the Bucks. So, like, already they have the advantage against Private Party, Butcher and the Plate, that they got the Bunny is back. Ali's back with her husband. It's worth to say, like, not Kofi Kingston, Eddie Kingston did it, because he pretty much is, like, friends with everybody else. And also, like, the Dark Order, Alex 3 Reynolds and John 4 Silver. That is, like, what, like 4 feet? Is that what it's for?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think it is.
Is that what it's for? Okay, but, like, this match was good. Because, of course, this old fort, especially, Private Party is good with the flips. The Bucks, really good tag team. Butcher and the Blade at least making it more serious, making it more stiff, making it more like, old school tag. It was good. And, a little bit of mixing of all of that is like just the members of the Dark Order, Jean-Paul. Am I right?
Yeah, I like Private Party. I like the Butcher and the Blade. Reynolds and Silver, actually, they didn't look bad here. Of course, John Silver, like JR was saying, he's like hopped up on Mountain Dew, too much sugar for the little guy. And you could see that, but I mean, he is jacked as all hell, and he can do some moves. It's, and I'm not going to shit on the guy for his height when, he puts in the work, unless you're Marco Stunt. Then I just shit on you because you're a filth human being. But then, it was good, but again, you knew the Bucks were going to win, and there was a lot of times where like my eyebrows raised up. I did my best Rock impression because I thought they were going to pull the Isaiah Swerve Scott on me. With like the Dark Order, they had a shot where like you thought they were going to win. Even Private Party, especially at the end with a couple roll-ups and this and that when they got out of the Meltzer driver. I thought they were going to do something crazy, and I'm like, no. Why would they do that? They can't wait to get this match, the FTR versus the Bucks. They can't wait to get there. They can't wait to do it, and they can't wait to put the titles on the Bucks.
Yes, that's what I think, Jean-Paul. And, in the end, like, the Young Bucks, like, won it, and, like, they were celebrating, but then right away FTR came out. And with a mystery man, because it was, like, a man that had covered, it had, like, a bandana or, like, something right there, like, a cover.
It wasn't me. I was here.
Wasn't Jean-Paul, and I was like,
even though I wish it was. I wish it was me.
Out the Bucks. Yeah, okay. That will be the day. You helping out the Bucks. Yeah.
No way. I don't help out the Bucks. I help out FTR.
Oh right, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
What were you watching?
Oh yeah, well I was What was I?
I don't blame you though.
Watching
I don't blame you for not watching.
It was flip, yeah, but like he comes in and then he starts like beating up the Bucks, and they set him up like they were gonna break Matt Jackson's like leg. They put the chair like old school stuff. They did it, good stuff. But then of course we were like, okay, who's the third man? It was Tully Blanchard, and he looks good though. Like you said, he's in good shape.
Well, yeah, good. Well, he did the spike pile driver and he landed on his feet. It wasn't like Arn when Arn did the spine buster and he didn't think he was going to get up. Tully actually jumped. He came in, whacked him with the chair, like you said. But then why couldn't Matt Jackson sell the injury? He has to act like he's Hulk Hogan and he starts fighting the guy even though his one leg is done. It's like, just sell the injury. You're going to win the belts in 2 weeks anyway. Just calm down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, why you gotta they ruin everything that they do that's semi-legit or it's good or it's passable. They find a way to make it shit.
No, yeah, I agree with you. So like, that's what they did, but then, in the end they stand tall. Like FTR stands tall, like they're gonna like kind of like they get the upper hand for what is gonna be.
Oh
like,
yeah. And one quick thing too before we go off the air here, it's to make note of, did you see how they're doing the final deletion, or excuse me, the elite deletion, because you gave the final deletion.
The elite deletion was going to be with Sammy Guevara and Matt Hardy. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be cool. Yeah.
How do you?
The promo was good. I like that.
It is good, but I love how it's like, Matt Hardy, like not even a month, 2 months ago, whatever it was, like, I'm going to be legit Matt Hardy, already back to broken. They have no idea what they're doing with it.
Oh, yeah, no idea. The fact that, like, the blade and the bunny and then the butcher and the blade, it's just, like, again, there's no consistency in the booking. So, like, there's a lot of people that raise an eyebrow, like you said, like The Rock, and then they say, why is this not making any sense? And also remember, Matt Hardy said, well, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to rest up. I'm going to be home. Till like 100% better.
Yeah, because he was even, and that's the thing too, and we missed it, and almost forgot to mention it here, but Jean Paul never misses any detail. They did the Sammy Guevara and Matt Hardy angle as soon as they went to picture in picture.
Yeah,
because he was out there helping Private Party, and then they go to picture in picture. Sammy comes out, attacks him, and then they run off, and then that was it. But they never mentioned it. They never. Yeah, the show is booked and run by unprofessional goons.
Well, yeah, like especially in a lot of aspects, it's just the lack of like care in some little things. For example, like you say, you run in an angle, don't do it on picture in picture. Do it when we all can see it, because that way we're gonna buy the angle even more. Although it's been done for like way too long. It's like what, 3 months that we've seen Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara.
Oh yeah, nobody cares about this feud, but if you're gonna do it, at least present it in the most legit way possible.
Yeah, so like we'll see what happens with like the elite deletion. What is gonna be full gear. Of course, Robert will be right there talking about all of that. So family, they summarized this show. I don't think that it was the best shows of AEW. Like I was hoping for something a little better. But like Jean Paul says, this is the face that like we get when like the show is over. Yep, right there.
Yep.
Yeah, right there.
That's us. That face or the picture that we have in the archives of the Fiend laying there in the ring dead. There it is. That's me.
Yep, that's us.
After Dynamite.
Even Alexa Bliss was like, she was like looking for a great show. That's what she gets.
Yeah, she's like,
she's about to cry. About to cry when this is over. So, family, thank you so very much for being right there with us for the AEW Dynamite review. Don't forget to check every single thing of the content. We have a lot more content coming for you guys. Where they can find us in the social media world.
Well, you can find us on Rope Break on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, the original Rope Break on Instagram, of course, the original Rope Break right here on YouTube, and, of course, alleverythingentertainment.com.
Exactly. So, the right there is our newest home. Not that new anymore, because every day we keep saying new. It's not new anymore, but, keep looking at us for right there. We have all the content, even like, podcast mode or like SoundCloud. So, every single video that we do is right there. So, Jean Paul, you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...